The entire cafeteria went silent. Trays froze midair. Laughter died instantly. No one could believe what they were seeing. Ethan Miller, the school's biggest bully, was on his knees trembling. The same guy who used to humiliate others daily was now begging her for mercy. And standing over him was Lily Harper, the quiet girl no one ever noticed. But to understand how the tables turned so dramatically, we need to go back to where it all began. Ethan Miller ruled Ridgeway High like a self-appointed king. Every day, he sat at the same table in the cafeteria, center stage, surrounded by his friends who laughed at every cruel joke he made. He wasn't just a bully. He was proud of it. He boasted about how he could make anyone cry, how teachers never dared to challenge him because of his father, a wealthy businessman who donated to the school regularly. Power, Ethan would say, smirking as he stole someone's lunch or threw a tray across the room, wasn't given, it's taken, and no one dared to disagree. Then came Lily Harper, a transfer student, soft-spoken, polite, and always with her nose buried in a sketchbook. She wore simple clothes, avoided eye contact, and sat at the far end of the cafeteria, where the noise couldn't reach her. She never talked back when Ethan's group mocked her. She never complained when they accidentally knocked her food to the floor. But what no one knew, not even Lily herself, was that one day, she'd be the reason Ethan's reign of fear ended. One Friday afternoon, Ethan decided to make her his next lesson. "Hey, new girl," he called, loud enough for the entire cafeteria to hear. Lily froze mid-step, clutching her tray tightly. Ethan grinned. "You like to draw, huh? Why don't you sketch me? I'll give you something to remember." The whole cafeteria laughed. Lily's cheeks burned, but she didn't respond. She quietly sat down. But Ethan wasn't done. He walked over, grabbed her sketchbook, and flipped through the pages. Inside were portraits of students, smiling, happy, full of life. And one drawing that caught his eye, a picture of a small girl standing up to a shadow twice her size. He raised his eyebrow. "This you?" Lily looked up, her eyes steady now. "One day, yes." Ethan laughed mockingly. "Good luck with that." And with one cruel motion, he ripped the drawing in half. The laughter around them felt like thunder. But what no one noticed was Lily's calm expression. She didn't cry. She didn't shout. She simply said, "You'll regret that soon." The words hung in the air, quiet but sharp as glass. And for a brief second, Ethan's confident smirk faltered. It started 2 weeks later. Ethan walked into the cafeteria like always, tossing his backpack on the table. But the whispers began before he even sat down. Something was off. His friends avoided eye contact. People were staring, not in admiration, but in discomfort. Then his phone buzzed. Dozens of messages, dozens of notifications, videos, photos, comments. Every cruel prank he'd ever done was now online. Clips of him tripping freshmen, stealing lunches, and mocking teachers. Each one captioned with the same words. "Power isn't given. It's taken." Ethan Miller, his face went pale. "Who did this?" he yelled, slamming his phone down. Then, from across the room, Lily stood up, calm, steady. She walked toward him, eyes unblinking. "You like attention, right?" she said softly, her voice echoing across the cafeteria. "No, everyone knows who you really are." Ethan lunged toward her, but before he could say a word, Principal Harris stepped in. "Ethan Miller, my office, now." The entire cafeteria went wild. He was suspended for 2 weeks, his father furious, his friends scattering. When he returned, the whispers didn't stop. The once powerful cafeteria king now walked alone. Lily, on the other hand, became quietly respected. She never bragged, never gloated, but her calm strength spoke louder than words. One afternoon, Ethan approached her table. He looked smaller somehow, his voice trembling. "Lily, I'm sorry. I didn't know." She looked up, her tone gentle but firm. "You didn't want to know. But maybe now you'll learn." He nodded, tears forming in his eyes. "I already have." And that's when the whole cafeteria saw what no one expected. The once arrogant bully kneeling slightly, his voice breaking, asking for forgiveness. Lily stood, put her sketchbook away, and said quietly, "Real power isn't taken, Ethan. It's earned, through kindness." The room was silent again. But this time, not from fear, from respect. That day, Ridgeway High learned something unforgettable. That silence doesn't mean weakness, and humility can turn even the loudest arrogance into a whisper. Because sometimes, the quietest person in the room holds the loudest lesson. If you enjoyed this powerful story, make sure to subscribe to SH Stories for more emotional and inspiring tales like this one, where every story leaves you thinking long after it ends.